Welcome to episode 4 of 5 Powerful Ways to Save Your Marriage. I'm Hilton Samuel of the Love and Relationship Center. In the previous videos, we spoke about the fact that you need to first decide that you will do all in your power to save your marriage. Then there are things that we must stop doing. We must stop begging, pleading, threatening. And then we spoke about calling a ceasefire. Basically, you need to stop the war, the romantic battle. If you haven't seen these videos, I will suggest that you briefly go through them and then catch up with us with this fourth video, which is to plant seeds. Now, the planting of a seed, usually when we're under pressure, when we're in a terrible situation, when the odds are stacked against us, when we are stressed, we want immediate relief. We want to be able to stop the hurt, the pain, the anguish, the heartache. And yes, these must be stopped and should be stopped. However, to rebuild the relationship calls for a lot of time and sometimes effort. And in this video, we are looking at how to plant seeds that will germinate and grow and bear fruits that will turn our relationship around. What are these seeds that we are talking about, and how could you plant them? In this episode, we are looking at 5 steps to reversing the breakup process. And like we suggested, we are going to plant some seeds. And the first thing that we want you to do is to respond to your spouse in kindness and love. Yes, we did ask you to cease fire. We did ask you to stop certain things, but now we're going to tell you what you can do. We suggested things that you shouldn't do, things that you should not do. Now, what are some of the things that you should do? This is probably the most challenging part of the process. To be kind when someone is unkind to you, to be loving when someone is hateful to you, to be tender when someone is harsh to you, to be congenial when someone is out to make your life miserable. However, we have found that if we respond in kindness, if we respond in love, if we respond with the opposite, it's more than likely that eventually the person will stop attacking and stop fighting. And not only that, it's likely that the person's heart would be softened and will be, amenable to perhaps thinking and rethinking the position that they have. And the first thing we want you to do is to be congenial, to be affable, to be, even when your spouse is pressing your hot buttons and trying to upstage you and trying to frustrate you. We're not suggesting that you should be a doormat. We're not suggesting that you roll over and do nothing. If someone is hurting you, you could, in a very loving, calm way, but firm way, suggest, well, what you're doing is affecting me. What you've done, what you've said is not nice and it's hurtful, and I would prefer if you don't do it. However, we don't want you to fight fire with fire. Like I suggested in the previous video, Gandhi and later on Martin Luther King Jr. said, look, we are going to wear down your capacity to hate and hurt with our capacity to love. And that's what we are intending to do, is to share and give love. Even if you don't feel like it at this point, and I could understand if you don't feel like it. And in any way, I'm not suggesting that you take abuse and not respond, but respond in a very firm and gentle and respectful manner. So the first step is not to respond in kind if they have been hurtful and vengeful and attacking, but just be congenial and respond in kindness and in love and integrity. The next thing we suggest you could do is to do something that would make the person happy, feel loved. However, we want you to do it because you want to do it, not for any ulterior motives. We're not doing this to manipulate the person psychologically, and we're not doing this to, make the person believe that they have to respond in any way. You're going to do it simply because you want to do it. So think of something, you know your spouse very well. Think of several things, as a matter of fact, that person loves, that would make that person feel esteemed, that will bring a smile to their face. And just simply do it out of the kindness of your heart. Just do it because it is a good thing to do. Do it because even if you don't feel like it, you once loved them. And if you do this, it's more than likely that the person's hard heart, person's resolve may be revisited, and it will break up the fallow ground, and the seed of love may get a chance to germinate, grow, and bear fruit. Right, without making this video too long, we are going to have several parts to this video, and in the next part we'll be looking at how you can seek to understand where your spouse is coming from. So I'll see you in the next video.